Hello everyone, it's Rebecca here, and today I thought I would start off whatever the hell this video is going to be. So it's currently Sunday morning, it's the beginning of November, and I had a sudden realisation. I've been sorting my shelves out for a while, and I have 3 bags worth of books to get rid of, and then some more. And I've realised that I have a bunch of books that I've been sent from publishers that are either ARCs or finished copies that I have not read yet because I am a stupid, sucky human being. I thought I would document my progress reading some of those for you. But my hair is currently drying naturally, which is why it's doing all of this, and I've run out of conditioner. It's a whole situation. So bear with that. But the first one I have here is The Tesla Legacy by K.K. Perez. This one I received a while ago. You will see the 3 books I have here are all from Jamie Lee, who works on behalf of Tor and several authors directly as well. So these are mainly from her. I'm a sucky human being and I should know better, basically. But yes, this is the first one. So in this novel, what I can gather is this follows a young teen named Lucy who is involved in some sort of electrokinetic explosion or a fateful encounter in the Tesla suite of a New York hotel unlocks the ability to manipulate and control electricity. This is apparently a centuries-old battle from everyone who has this fateful encounter, including Nikola Tesla, and this causes people to eventually lose their minds and die. And we, I'm assuming, are watching Lucy battling with that power and that struggle. I am very, very interested in this because the whole idea of kids having superpowers and not being able to control them. Just look at the Gone series by Michael Grant. That one is one of my favourites from childhood, which he has just released a new one of that actually, but that's not the point of this clip at all. That's one of the ones that I really do need to read. It's not that long either. It's like 350 pages, so it really shouldn't take me that long to read. Next up is one that I have actually started on audiobook this week at work. It's a 9-hour long audiobook, but I am going to try and read a bit of it physically as well, and that is Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. It follows twin sisters, one of who is a witch or a wizard or a person with magical abilities, and the other is not. Think of a twin version of Harry Potter's Aunt Petunia and Lily Potter, basically, but obviously Lily Potter's still alive in this instance. So we follow the non-magical twin, who is actually a detective, and the head teacher of this magical school enlists this detective in a murder case. Basically to help her solve this murder case. I get the impression that magic can't help in this situation, which is kind of a weird thing to be in. I'm currently on page 45 of this one, and when I was listening to it at work, it was giving me very, very, very much Harry Potter vibes, and I was like, is this going to be a knockoff? But it is actually quite good so far. I am enjoying it. She's just rocked up to the school ahead of solving, there's a hair in my book. So I am at the point now where she's just rocked up to the school, ready to investigate this murder. And yeah, she's a little bit like, sort of like a, what's the word I'm looking for? A deer in headlights, that's the one. She's a little bit of a deer in headlights with this situation because everything around her is so much more technologically, physically more advanced than what she's used to, because obviously magic. And yeah, it's quite interesting so far. I am enjoying it. Next up is one that I've received most recently as part of a duology that I received, and it's actually part of a trilogy, not a duology, because I'm an idiot, but only the first 2 have been released, which I have been sent, again by Jamie Lee. And this one is the Sweet Black Waves series by Christina Perez. I've received Sweet Black Waves and Wild Savage Stars so that I can just blast through them, and I'm quite intrigued by this one, I'm not going to lie. This one follows 2 kingdoms that stand on opposite shores with only a bloody history between them, because obviously the best friend and lady in waiting to the princess Branwen is guided by 2 principles: devotion to her homeland and hatred for the raiders who killed her parents. She unknowingly saves the life of an enemy. He awakens her ancient healing magic and opens her heart. She begins to dream of peace, but the princess she serves is not so easily convinced. And I believe we're just fighting what's right, basically. So yeah, it's like a magical sort of magical I feel like it's going to be quite medieval. I don't know why, but I feel medieval, historical, romancy kind of fantasy, sci-fi. I'm just throwing all of the words in there. I'm just throwing every word I can think of into that sentence. I am very, very interested in this one. It's very floppy as well. Inspired by the star-crossed tale of Tristan and Isolde, which is the first story of the legend's true heroine, Branwen. It's the first of a book of a lush fantasy trilogy about warring countries, family secrets, and forbidden romance. There we go, it's a fantasy. That was one of the words I said. Yeah, this was a very rambly introduction, I'm sorry guys, but I'm hoping to get to some of these in the next couple of weeks because I need to get them off my TBR. I've ditched everything I'm currently reading, which includes Fury Born and Misery by Stephen King, to try and get some of these done, because I suck. I really, really, really suck. So yes, hopefully I can get more of Magic for Liars done today, but I have quite a busy afternoon ahead, and I will update you more with my progress when I have some. Bye! Hello, it has been a couple of days. It is now Tuesday, and I finished Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey today at work. I listened to this on audio. That's how much I got through yesterday. So I hit the 100-page mark on Sunday night and then read or listened to like another 113, 114 pages yesterday. So then I read the last 100 today, listening to it today, sorry, on audio. And yeah, middle of the road read for me. It was a 3-star. There were a lot of aspects that I did like, but then there were counteracting aspects, which was really annoying. So for example, the whole estranged twin thing I really liked, but then it kind of felt forced towards the end, like their relationship and their bond and stuff felt forced. And there was also sort of the whole relationship thing, like there is a relationship in this, there is a friends to lovers relationship kind of thing. Well, there's flirting, there's a lot of flirting goes on, and then there's a relationship, and I just did not think that was necessary in the slightest. It could have done without. You've seen what was going to happen. As soon as it happened, you knew what was going to follow on from that, especially from the way that it was being portrayed as a relationship. And yeah, I had my suspicions of who was the culprit. I then opened to check how many pages there was in this and spoiled myself for it. That in hindsight didn't really affect me because there was still times when I was like, no way. And that was more like the trivial teenage stuff. So for those of you who don't know, Magic for Lies is set in a comprehensive school in the US, which is pretty much like any other comprehensive school except it has magic. So it's not as like fancy as Hogwarts, it's more like your local rundown school but with better provisions and magic, if that makes sense. And we're following our main character Ivy Gamble, who is investigating a murder. She's a private investigator, and the head teacher contacts her and says, will you help us investigate this murder? It just so happens to be at the school that her estranged twin sister works at, Tabby. So there's a lot of ambiguity from the get-go really with this, and then there is a little bit in this that did kind of tug at my heartstrings a little bit. If you've heard my reviews about Beyond by George Springate, then you will know what that issue is. But yeah, I didn't cry. I thought this was very middle of the road because for every negative thing, something positive counteracted it opinion-wise, and then for every positive thing, something negative counteracted it opinion-wise, if that makes sense. So it was very uppy-downy, and a very flat 3 out of 5 stars. Now that that's done, I have An Illusion of Thieves downloaded, and that one is, I think it's 9 hours as well, so that's not too bad. And then for physical read, I was thinking of picking up The Tesla Legacy, and now that I'm in my room, I can see, like my office room, I can see several things I should really pick up, including The Nightjar by Deborah Hewitt, A Memory Called Empire by Arcady Martin, and I think that one actually sounded really, really good from what I remember. A Time of Dread, which is like a partial series, like the second half of a series, but it's its own series in itself, if that makes sense. And there's also The Ruin of Kings, but I don't know where I've put it. Where have I put The Ruin of Kings? Oh no, that was something I was really fancying listening to as well, and trying to read a little bit more of. But anyway, this is probably going to be my immediate pickup, if not one of the other paperbacks that I have. But this one I described the synopsis of earlier on in a previous clip, and I'm quite intrigued, and hopefully it will be a quick read. 3 out of 5 stars for Magic for Liars, and I'm hopefully going to go start this soon. Hello, happy Wednesday. So obviously yesterday's update was that I finished a book and I wanted to start a new one, and I did just that. This is An Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass. I had previously started this, as you can see I had tabbed it where I previously started it, and I had previously read up to the 4th chapter, which is about 55 pages, and I thought I'm just going to restart when I listened to it through audio, and I'm so pleased I did, because those first 50 pages were just a blur. But I'm pleased to say that I listened to this today and I got to page 150, which is the start of chapter 9. I remember this being quite humorous in places and quite heartwarming, but at the same time also harrowing in the first 50 pages, and that's true. I said I'm really enjoying it. So for those of you who do not know, this follows a young girl called Remy, who basically as a child gets sold out to be a whore, essentially a child whore, to help pay for food, and she, sorry I've got a really itchy eye, and she gets sold out. She ends up being sold to, or basically taken under the wing of, the king, or the prince of this land. So when the king, who is the prince's uncle, passes away, she ends up becoming under his guise, and she's in a fairly good position considering she's just a whore. Essentially, that's what she is, she's a whore. He uses her for sex and that's it, but she has her own quarters, her own servants, and is treated like royalty within this palace. However, family ties are very strong and family themes run throughout this, but when your family pretty much bite off the hand that feeds them, you suffer just as much as they do. So you end up seeing Remy losing everything she has. She has to build everything up again from the start with her brother, and her brother isn't the nicest of people to begin with. He basically is a little shit, putting it nicely. He doesn't know respect, he doesn't know how to earn respect, he doesn't know how to give respect, and that kind of leads him into a lot of awkward situations. There's thievery, there's magic, which is the main thing, and I'm shocked that I haven't mentioned this so far, but there's magic and they both have to hide the fact that they're magic, and I'm just really describing this really badly, so if I remember I'll leave a synopsis of the books that I mentioned in this video down below. However, I am really enjoying this one. So yes, I'm 150 pages into it. It's a 9-hour long audiobook and I have 5 left. So yes, there's 350 pages this one, I've just checked, 348, so I have 200 to go. I should be able to finish this tomorrow, fingers crossed, but I am really enjoying it. However, I'm going to go jump in the shower and try and have an early night, because the past 2 nights it's been nearly midnight when I've gone to bed, and this morning my alarm went off. I turned it off, rolled over, woke up an hour later, and I was waking up at the time I was meant to be leaving the house. Great, so I was running late today, so my plan is to go have a shower and wash my hair. It's currently 9:15. Let's see what time I get into bed and get settled, but I'm hoping to read some of this, The Tesla Legacy by K.K. Perez. I have not read any of this yet because I suck. I am going to hopefully go and read some of this once I've been in the shower. Hopefully. Let's be real, I will probably just watch silly videos on my phone and play silly games. But so far so good. I'm quite proud of my progress. Let's see how long this video ends up being. Fingers crossed I get some of this read, but I am really enjoying this so far. It definitely feels like a more 3.5 to 4 star read so far, which I'm really pleased about. So yes, let's get cracking. Get cracking. Who even am I? That's disgusting. I will speak to you all with another update soon. Night. Hello, happy Thursday. Look at me, vlogging for like 3 days in a row. Can you tell something different about me today? I actually have makeup on. Don't actually know if you can see very well. What is this lighting doing? No, well you can a little bit. I'm very orange on this camera. I do quite like it. It's just very minimal. It's very nice. I'm very tired, so it's very rubbed. But reading, I'm 85% of the way through Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass. I have about an hour left, I think, as my audiobook said. I'm enjoying it. Quite a lot is happening in this, and there are certain things that I'm a bit like, why are you doing that? And then there are other bits that I'm like, you know what, fair play. A bit of a weird turn from what I was expecting, and I don't know how I feel about that, but I am enjoying it overall. It just sort of changed, like my expectation of what was going to happen is just completely changed. Like I thought it was going to go in a completely different direction relating to her family, and relating to her father and things like that, and whether or not they were going to come back, all that kind of stuff. but it's completely just went a different way, which is something that I love about reading, because you don't know what you're gonna get when you open that book for the first time. And so far this is like a 3.5 to 4 star read. My phone's just buzzed. It's a 3.5 to 4 star read. I'm really enjoying it still, so hopefully I will finish that tomorrow. In fact, definitely will finish that tomorrow. And then I was having a look, and I can't get the audiobook for The Tesla Legacy or Sweet Black Waves at the minute by KK Perez and Christina Perez. They're the same author. But I have started The Tesla Legacy, and I'm literally like 10 pages into it, not even that, and it's really confusing. I feel like I've stepped into a sequel. I don't think I have, but I feel like I've stepped into a sequel, and I'm a little bit concerned that that's the case, and I'm just presumed to know everything that there is to know, or whether or not this is a conversation happening in the present day, and then we're going to go back in time. I don't actually know. So I feel like well out of the loop with it, and I'm like, where is my build-up? Where is my really slow burning kind of like, this is the context, this is the background, this is what's happened before that's led to this event. Why haven't I got that? And I don't know if I'm just reading something wrong or not, but I don't know. I'm going to keep persevering with it and give it a try. However, I'm just going to get my goods from up here. I've had a book up there for an absolute age, and I'm 99.9% certain that this was sent to me from Jamie Lee. It is, actually. I've still got the PR slip in it, and it came with a bookmark. It's a hardback, so it's a final copy hardback edition, and the book is now out in paperback. That's how long I've had this book. This was probably the very first physical final copy that I received from a publisher. My hair's a mess, I don't know what's happening. Or a very first physical, was it a physical arc? I think it was the first physical copy from a publisher I'd received. And that is Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I can get this on Audible. Apparently it's not available in my country on Scribd, but I'm going to use an Audible credit and I'm going to give it a whirl, because I've been very excited to read this. I do actually have Uprooted by Naomi Novik as well, and I know that I can read them separately because they're separate fairy tale retellings. But this is a fairy tale retelling based on the story of Rumpelstiltskin, and I've heard some really good things about Naomi Novik, so I'm excited to give this a try. It also means that because tomorrow is Friday, if I don't get my audiobook finished, which I know for a fact I won't, if I don't get it finished, I can pick this up over the weekend physically as well. In at over 400 pages, I think it's about 450 pages. 470 pages apparently. So it's a little bit of a chunker, but hopefully I can get a good chunk of it read tomorrow, or listen to tomorrow on audiobook, and then I'm busy Saturday and should just be able to power through it on Sunday. Fingers crossed. So that is the plan. I'm going to try and get through these books and let you know my thoughts on them, but so far I'm quite proud of how I'm doing with this little impromptu reading vlog, considering I only started it on like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's been 3.5 days already, and I'm nearly finished book 2. Started a third, and I'm probably going to start a fourth tomorrow. So it's gone very well. I'm quite pleased, and I shall check in with you all with another update soon. Bye! It is now Sunday, so it's been a week since I started this little attempt at a reading vlog to read some of the arcs off my TBR, and I'm just grabbing them all because I'm so unprepared. That's better. Hello, it's Sunday. I just thought I would wrap this all up for you. So the past week was a challenge to myself to see how many of the books I received from publishers that I could read in a week. I think I did a pretty good job. So I'm just going to round that up for you. So we started the week with Magic for Liars by Sarah Gailey. This one I listened to on audio, so I didn't even attempt to read it at all. I just listened to it. It was actually quite good. It was 3 stars. Looking back on it, I did enjoy it more than I thought. This is a murder mystery set in a magical school, but it is literally just like your bog standard UK comp. For those who don't know, it's like 11 to 16 year olds or 11 to 18 year olds now. Set in your bog standard comp where there is a murder mystery, but the only thing is that the detective, her twin sister, is actually a teacher at this school. Twin sister has magical powers, but she does not, so she is like an outsider going in trying to solve this murder mystery. Look at my horrible staticky hair. Anyway, this one was a solid 3 stars for me. It flowed quite quickly. I found myself kind of intrigued at some points, but then at other points it felt like it was a Harry Potter knockoff, which is why it's very middle of the road 3 star. We then moved on to listening to An Illusion of Thieves by Kate Glass. This one I had previously picked up and tried to read 50 pages of, and I really enjoyed it. I just put it down and don't know why. So this one I picked up, and again, listen to it on audio. I did read a few pages of this physically just to make sure that I'd like rounded the chapter up properly before going back to it on audio. And this one again was a 3-star, but this was a better 3-star, like a higher 3-star. I believe this is part of a series now, so I do need to chase up that second book and find out when it's getting released, or if it's already released, go buy it, because I did really enjoy this. Romy works for basically the king or the leader of this land, as essentially a sex slave. Let's be honest, that's what she is, in exchange for digs and basically being treated to anything she would like. She has a large family, who one day her father essentially gets tried for theft, and the penalty for theft is losing a hand. And to be associated with a thief means that you literally have no options. You are the lowest of the low, the scum of the earth, you get nothing, you get nada. So because of her link to her father, obviously it's her father, she's her father's daughter, she gets discarded from her role as the king's whore, essentially, gets discarded from this role and is made to start from the bottom with her brother. The rest of the family have been banished. There's just her and her brother who have been sentenced to essentially live in the squalors, in the nasty. Imagine lower than Aladdin, basically, when he's not Prince Ali. They then try to get on with their lives, but the only thing is that they possess something that is very much forbidden in this land, and that is magic, or some sort of magical powers. And we follow them as they're starting from the bottom, trying not to be found out about their magic, and we learn a lot about Romy as a character who has previously been handed everything on a plate. She now has to learn how to not, basically. Really hard to describe, as you can tell. It's a very solid 3.5 stars, and as I said, I can't wait for the sequel. I did really enjoy this. My reviews for both of these are on Goodreads. If you would like to check them out, my Goodreads should be down below. Next up, I started The Tesla Legacy by KK Perez. When I say started, I got to page 28. The book starts on like page 11, page 9, so I've read like 20 pages, and it felt very much like I was in the middle of a book. Like I just started this book in the middle, like I'd opened it up and went, let's begin, when in reality I hadn't. I don't know what on earth I'm thinking. I don't know if it's just me that feels like that, but it feels like I very much started in the middle of a book and I don't know any context previously, don't know what the crack is, basically what's going on. So I ended up DNFing this one. It is such a shame because I did hold high hopes for it. It sounds like something that I would enjoy. It follows a young girl who possesses powers of electricity, and she is kind of like figuring out how to live her life with that. Do people know? Do people not know? I don't actually know. We started the book, as I said, it feels like in the middle of it. So I feel like there's a lot of context that I'm missing out on, and I don't know, as I said, if that's just me. So unfortunately I did have to DNF this one. And then to finish the week off, I started Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. Found out through Audible how far I was with this one, and I'm on to page 126, which is chapter 10. So I don't think that's too bad of a feat, to be honest. I think I am going to continue with this. The only thing with this that I found difficult on audiobook is the fact that it jumps between perspectives in each chapter, and you don't actually realise that until you're a few chapters in. So I was listening to it while I was doing some other stuff, and I was like, her voice has changed. Is that a different perspective? That person wasn't there before. Does that mean that that's a different perspective? Like, I was quite confused. And then when I've picked the book up, I've realised that it probably is just different perspectives, because it talks about different characters, different character names, different character locations. And this is a fairy tale retelling loosely based on the story of Rumpelstiltskin. So it's kind of confusing because context-wise, I don't understand what the hell is happening. I'm not really familiar with Rumpelstiltskin other than Sleeping Beauty, and even then that's more of a Sleeping Beauty than a Rumpelstiltskin situation. So with the jumping time, like with the jumping perspectives, not necessarily the timings, but the jumping perspectives, and the settings themselves, I feel a little bit lost. But I think that's just me trying to settle into the book. I'm not sure if that's something that everybody feels, but it feels like I am a little bit lost and I'm struggling slightly. So I'm going to persevere with it for another day or two and see if I can get this finished through audiobook as well, because I feel like it would be a shame to not read 3 of these books. But yeah, there we have it. Those are the 4 books that I've tried to read this week. I think that's been a pretty successful week, to be honest. I mean, I've realised that one of the books I'm just never gonna read, let's be real. So that can go in my unhaul pile. And the other 2 that I did read I really enjoyed, and I'm in the middle of a 3rd one which I need to get my head around a little bit more. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of those. Let's be real, majority of people who watch my videos probably have not read any of them. If at all, they'll have read this one. Ow! But yeah, if you've read any of them, let me know in the comments down below if your feelings were very similar, and I shall catch you all in the next vlog. Or the next video. I have got something planned that I'm looking forward to. I just need to put that plan in place. So yes, as I said, let me know in the comments down below if you have any thoughts on this video. All of my links to my social media, all that good stuff are down there. I would love to make friends with you, and I shall see you all in another video. Bye!